Bună ziua, bine v-am regăsit la studioul BRD Tennis Insider. Suntem în ziua a 5-a de concurs, se joacă foarte mult tenis. Am văzut câteva meciuri pe muchie, mici de meci ratate, întoarceri de situație fantastice ca la tenis. Astăzi l-avem invitat pe domnul Gerry Armstrong, supervizorul turneului. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Ours too. Tell us, how do you find this year's tournament? You are supervising this contest for like 3 or 4
I think
years
this is
now?
my 4th year, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I mean, this year's been fantastic, except for Wednesday. What did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do with the weather on Wednesday? But apart from that, it's been absolutely great. I mean, the sun's shining and the sights like this. It's a pleasure to be here.
And how is it with the new central arena?
I think that the staff have done an amazing job because it was quite, as you probably know, it was quite last minute that they couldn't use the big centre court. So what they've done, I think, is done really well. And the court surface is great, so everything's fine. It's,
how does it come when a tournament has these problems? Like, how does it work to what are the? I think the spectators wants to know the inside, how big, how wide, all this kind of stuff. How can you decide so fast to still organize a tournament? So they maybe respect a little bit more the work of the tournament, what they did.
Yeah. Well, we do have a minimum standard for tournaments, which is 3,500 for outdoor events. So as this was last minute, and it was either have the tournament or not, and there's a lot of toing and froing, but it was what, 6 weeks? I think we knew 6 to 8 weeks
nearly.
beforehand. I mean, this is really the best that I think it's 2,200 in there now. So it really is. I think it's an amazing job to get that done in such a short space of time. And I can appreciate, though, it's disappointing for spectators when we've had a 4,500 arena down to just over 2. But I think the tour have been very flexible just to get the tournament on and get people here and get everybody playing tennis. Yeah.
So any favorite memories here?
From here?
Yeah, from here.
That's a good question.
Good ones, bad ones. You tell us.
You know what? I'm English, so I'm always on about the weather. You know, and times here I've gone out there and burnt to death. And then the next day got jackets and freezing.
Yeah.
So, you know, the weather always intrigues me here. It's always up and down. But I think actually, if you're talking about memories, the doubles final last year was fantastic. I think from a tennis memory, that was a great match. And I got a feeling it was about 17-15 in the match tiebreak. I think.
Yeah. Adrian Unger and Maris.
Yeah. So that was such a dramatic match. I think that sort of tennis memory for me here was great.
But do you have any favorite tournaments?
Other
tournaments?
It is tough because I'm travelling all the time. You know, the guys I work with, like, they always think I'm an Indian expert. So I always go to the Indian tournaments. I get just because I can speak the language and wobble my head like the Indians. But so I do enjoy going there. To be honest, I prefer the smaller, more intimate tournaments, like this one, like Chennai, like Auckland I go to, and we had some tournaments in South Africa I really enjoyed. So rather than favourite places, I think, you know, I like playing at working at the smaller venues where
I
you
know
get
what
to know
you're saying.
everybody.
It's more familiar and also maybe a little bit less work and see a little bit more too. Maybe not all the time.
Yeah.
You can have long days.
I've just come back from the run of Indian Wells and Miami, where Indian Wells is fantastic tournament, and but it's a long day for us. You know, we're there first thing in the morning till last thing at night. So
and you can go late at night.
You can go late, yeah. So if for a preference, I like the smaller,
this kind of tournaments,
smaller tournament like this one.
How many years you been on the tour?
You don't want to know.
No, I do. That's why
I started on the tour in 1987.
1987.
Yeah, and it was the MIPTC in those days, and then the ATP kicked in '90.
So you say like you started for sure as a referee, no?
I was an umpire,
umpire,
in 87,
and then and if you see, like, I'm comparing a little bit with career before as a tennis player, did you enjoy the first part, or you enjoy now more than before?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
When it's all new and exciting and traveling for a living first time
Yeah.
was great fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I go in and say I wouldn't still be doing it if I didn't enjoy the traveling, which I still do. But I do like this new role as supervisor, although I've been doing it for a long time.
Like, can you say like the first half or the second half? I don't
If,
know how
if
long
you
you're still
push
gonna
me,
go.
if you push me, I really enjoyed those first few years because it was all new and exciting and probably like yourself when you travel to different places.
No,
so.
by me, I enjoy much more the the second half.
Yeah.
Maybe because I played better. Maybe I made more money. Maybe I'm more successful. But also like one big part was because everywhere I went, I had friends or I knew people. So this. For me, made the travel, like if I knew next time I go to to New York or to some I always knew people, so that would make it easier. So,
but it is for us. It's with the players as well. It's a big family traveling.
Yeah, it's
all
true.
the time.
No,
so
it's true.
we all know each other, and
you guys work more together than us players, because we have to compete against each other. You guys gotta work together. So I guess that's.
Well, we have good days and bad days like everybody else, but we have lots of good ones.
Speaking about good days and bad days, you've got that most famous call with McEnroe.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do,
Defaulting him.
Defaulting him.
Yeah, that was in the early days, so it was all very new then, and
Is it much easier
don't
now?
look at me. That's even earlier than me.
It was, is it? Okay.
No.
You were around.
Is it much easier now with the Hawkeye and
It is.
with
I mean,
the micros?
But I think as the players have become far more professional in their approach to the game, and everything has become more professional, the officiating has, and it's just moved on from those days now. The players play tennis. There was and that sort of stuff that went on back then. Really, I think the guys are too professional to go that route these days, and
no more
it is
rock
different.
stars today.
No, I don't know, but you still have your characters out here, which is good. I mean, every sport needs its characters, but I think the professionalism that we try and do in the officiating side, and the players try to do with their training, with their all their off-court preparation is much higher and better than it was 30 years ago.
Yeah, and are you allowed to have any favorite players?
I shouldn't say so on the air, but Andre was one of my favourite players.
That's pretty good one.
Because we are always speaking about the greatest ones, the GOAT. And what do you say?
I mean, I'm not really supposed to be talking about, and it's not.
We know, but we are pushing
but,
it.
But if you want to push me, I mean, I think the present crop of players that we have are great, and if you take Roger Federer, has been a fantastic ambassador for the sport, playing on and off court for the last 15 years or so. So, but it is tough to compare players from one era to another. It is, and so. In the last part of the eras we were talking about, Roger has been phenomenal. They've all been for sure.
I know. I mean, of course, you have some black sheeps there and all this kind of stuff, but actually, he's right. I mean, this last 10 years has been.
I think we've been very fortunate on the tour to have a crop of such good players that have been good for our tour and good for the sport.
What do you say? This is going to be the last tournament for now. Last year for now in Bucharest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing all the rumours and the stories, so I think it's sad. I really do. Were you at the draw on
no, I
on
wasn't
Saturday?
Here,
we did the draw on Saturday, and everybody got quite emotional at the draw. So, I really hope something can be sorted out.
We hope so too.
I mean, I do. It'll be a shame if we're not here next year. But let's
for
hope
all
so.
of us.
Let's remain optimistic because I would like to come back.
What was the worst, like for you, like the worst tournament? Not place, not tournament, but like let's say the worst decision that you made that you you're sorry about it in in your big, I have one as
Yeah.
a player, but like also with the umpire. That's why I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we all make mistakes.
No, absolutely. That's why.
And you know, the last thing as an umpire you want to do is make a mistake that affects the result of a match. And and unfortunately I've made a few. You know, we all have. So yeah, and I think the one I regret most there was a match between Tommy Robredo and Philip Kohlschreiber where, you know, I made a wrong call, and it eventually, as the match kind of turned on that, which happens.
It turned,
I mean,
it
I
was
felt
important.
terrible about it. Everybody felt terrible about it, but nobody makes any mistakes on.
It is what it is.
It is. Yeah, you don't make mistakes on purpose, and so we try to avoid that. But you know, when you've been doing it for as long as we have, players, officials.
And the best one, that's why I started with
Oh,
that.
the best one.
The best one, what you say, like, I remember that match, this is gonna stay forever in my mind.
You know, I always used to say one of my favourite matches was I did Sampras and Boris at Hanover on one of their first finals.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
The Masters.
yeah, it was the first year at Hanover, so that was one of the matches I remember.
Tiriac was the
He was.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Coach
organizer.
Yeah.
No, it was
No,
the
it was the
organizer.
organizer. It was in Hanover. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was great. But being an English person, any of the Wimbledon finals that I've done always very special. So that's always been nice. Yeah.
The last one you umpired was a final in Wimbledon, now in 2006.
You're telling me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the last one I did?
Federer against Nadal, their
and Nadal.
first final in Wimbledon.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was my fourth singles final, I think then. But that was great. I mean, it's such a
match point.
It doesn't get easier actually. You think the first one you're nervous for when you go walk on the centre court, but you know, even at number 4, number 5, number 6, the finals do. It's still a lot of pressure and quite nerve-wracking to walk out to do matches there.
Yeah, listen, it was a great pleasure. Our colleagues tell me you have to go and make your presence.
Okay, yeah.
And
thank you very
thanks
much.
for being here. Lots of great
My
stories,
pleasure,
and maybe we'll catch up again later.
That's fine. My favourite player was.
Did you umpire me? How many
Hey,
times?
you've been shouting at me over the years.
Yes!
So, yeah.
Yes!
I can remember a few of those as well.
Scurtă pauză.
I told you.
Thank
She
you.
asked me
Yeah.
about that. I
Yeah.
said,
Doar 3 oameni
sure I
în
didn't
studio,
behave.
după aia să-l întrebăm pe Andrei câteva lucruri despre ziua de azi și despre cum îi antrenează pe băieți. Știu că au avut un bai azi.
Au jucat bine azi, da.
Revenim în câteva minute.